Welcome to Deep Thought. Advertising is modern magic. You know what? And there's a book I'm going to. I've done a video on it on my main channel, and I'll probably definitely do something again on the Deep Thought channel because it gets deep into things, and it's called Brainwashed: Challenging the Myth of Black Inferiority by Tom Burrell. Now, Tom Burrell he's a marketing communications pioneer and advertising Hall of Fame inductee. You know, he had a lot to do with revolutionizing the African American image in television and changing the face of American advertising, right? So this is an advertising exec, right? And like I said, I did something on that book. And I've included a link in the description box as well as the book itself. But I was thinking about advertising because, it's funny. I call it modern magic because it's basically used to make a change. If you look at advertising, its main thing is to get you to buy something, or really to create a need or desire in you to buy something that you ordinarily wouldn't buy. To get you to like it or something, to get you to want it. If you look at most stuff out here, it's stuff you don't need anyway, but they're going to make it sexy. Like toothpaste, right? A particular brand of toothpaste. Those commercials are sexy. But if you really think about it, most toothpaste are going to give you the same result. Most toothbrushes are going to give you the same result. I know there's some little nuances and they got this thing, but basically it's to get a certain result. And then here's the funny thing with that. If you think about the toothpaste commercials, what they don't use ordinary people who most likely will buy it, but they will use very beautiful people. But that's part of advertising is to make a change. See, a lot of times when people think about magic, they're thinking about that Game of Thrones or whatever. I ain't gonna use that because I don't really watch that show. Yeah, I'm the one person who don't, right? Like the opening music though. But they think about somebody sitting around some cauldron or doing some spells or doing some dancing and stuff. Shit, if you think about it, we gotta modernize and think about it. That single advertising exec, or that person who creates that ad or that marketing campaign, and it don't have to just be advertising, it could be public relations or something, can change a whole lot, can change attitudes. Somebody who comes up with a simple image can make millions or billions. Like trademarks and, patents, trademarks, branding, and all of that. That's advertising. I address that on my business channel. But there's a magic to it. There's a magic when somebody is always saying the name of a particular product. Like, for example, Nike. Automatically, people heard that since Nike is so ubiquitous and they got an idea, they might think, oh, okay, you know what? I need to buy a new hoodie, or I need to buy some sweats, or I need to get some shorts. They hear Nike automatically, boom. Or what they used to use for as a synonym for copying, Xerox. That's kind of an advertising thing. So you put that incantation out there, Xerox. All of a sudden, people used to think about copying something. I don't hear them say it as much, but that used to be the thing. It's like, oh, Xerox it. That's some magic. Think about it. Or you have a certain jingle, right? You put that jingle together, and those jingles they use for certain foods and stuff. All of a sudden, and then they show that commercial where somebody's eating that food, they having a good time, the family thing. That's some magic. Because then as soon as somebody hear that jingle or even see something about it, boom, they go, shoot, they getting hungry all of a sudden. Like one of the greatest magics I have ever seen. Whoever came up with the idea of selling popcorn or the idea of popcorn at a movie is a genius. Because think about it, you could pay like $9 for a ticket, like a matinee, and still pay like $10 for The popcorn, small one too. But there's some magic to that because I've noticed because I purposely don't get popcorn, or I try to because it's hard. But think about it. Somebody figured out, hey, you know what? Let's advertise this. Let's market it. You know, especially if you see some movies, that's kind of advertising anyway. In fact, all TV programming is just basically to advertise. If you want something, you put it in there. But that's some magic. You know, you figured out some slick person. They put that picture. You know, they put that product in there or something like that. Have some sexy people take care of it. Boom. Like all these movies, like anytime you see somebody in the movies or a TV show go to the movies, they got a big popcorn, got a big drink. That hits some people. Whereas to the point, it's hard for a person to go into a movie and not eat popcorn. Just think about it for a second. It's hard. It's almost like you could eat a full course meal beforehand and still go in there and want to get some popcorn. I'm like, man, that's some magic. I mean, think about it. You could change something. You know what, like good advertising or public relations, you can make the dumbest idea seem like a great idea. You know, just advertise it. Shoot, get some superstar. And I'm going to tell you how they'll do it. They'll get some sexy superstar. You know, if they advertising something and it's going towards women, they're going to get some buff dude, some buff handsome dude to talk about it. And the beauty of it is they ain't going to talk about sex. Or they're going to get some like real sexy woman to advertise it. What that does is that's going to mildly arouse a person. Right? So every time they see that image or they see a sexy, if they see that product rather, they're going to get mildly aroused and be quick to buy it. Boom. I just gave y'all some powerful knowledge. Seriously, like that advertising executive, you look at it, that's why they use sexual images. I mean, there's been some hoo-ha about, you know, times where they've used subliminal images, but that's magic too. You creating a change. You know, you changing something. You know, think about it. When you have that advertising campaign, you trying to change somebody's buying habits. You know, if you got some, like if you gave you, and this is a little bit from from my business channel. If you get somebody and they say they got they got a new athletic brand or something, right? Make that shit look sexy. Like if you advertising to men, this is how I do it too. I have some dude. You don't even have to be a good looking dude because you ain't trying to get the dude. That's not the key. You're not trying to get the dude to be attracted to the dude. But have that muscular dude have like some beautiful woman hand him a towel or something. All of a sudden somebody deep down started thinking, on a subconscious level, they're thinking, oh wow, if I wear that shirt I can get a beautiful woman. Now logically you know that ain't happening. Your conscious brain, but your subconscious on another level. See, that advertiser knows how to deep down dig into it. That's some magic right there. Think about it. I was trying to think about it, right? Because I've used a little sell my book, Nice Guys and Players. I'm going to tell y'all how I do it. Y'all notice the theme I got for my earlier books. Not as much for my other stuff because I want a different type of mindset. But when you have that red on, I got that black and red. You know. Red is a color of, for those who understand this knowledge, and I might have to do something on that, chakras. That's the red chakra. That's the root chakra. That's the sexual, really the primal sexual chakra. The sacral is actually the real sexual chakra. And I know some people are like, what the hell's a chakra? Yeah, I'll do that later. Anyway, right? So that red when I had that red, that stimulates folks a little bit. Now, this is something I discovered back when I was selling. I mentioned that I got started in a relationship thing, selling this pamphlet called Finding a Good Man to Ladies. And the pamphlets, I put them together myself, but I always had different colors for them. You know, I had pink, I had red, I had blue. What other colors I have? Didn't have black, that wouldn't make sense. But I had different colors, but I noticed something interesting when I was selling them. when they had a chance to pick out their own color, the women would always pick out red. And to the point the red would sell out, and then they'd get the other colors just because that's there. But with the pamphlet covers that were red always sold out. So I was just like, and I peeped that. And in fact, I was working with a friend back then who was doing a survey, and he put it in pamphlet form, well, more like a workbook form, right? Since they had to do some work in it. Different colors, they always grab for the red one. So I'm just like, In fact, that's part of that science on why pimps might wear some certain colors. Because, and this is going into some deeper stuff, and like some people who are familiar with hoodoo and stuff, but they know those colors affected, or why they wear certain flowers on their lapels. Because they knew it would affect the other people. See, that's part of it. So if you do that thing, you put that on like an advertisement, a picture, or something, it has the same effect. It's the same magic. I mean, it's some powerful stuff. It's just modernized now. They'll say, they'll send somebody to school and say it's science, but understand something about anything you have, even in modern science. Every single thing is based on some principle that was considered esoteric or occult at one time. Everything, even electricity. They knew in mystery schools that electricity existed for years. In ancient Kemet, they knew about electricity, but they didn't try to mine it or use it. They knew it would cause some other problems, which that's a whole series right there. But they knew about it. They knew about it in mystery schools and everything like that. So it's like everything they knew about, but they, the modern science act like they invented something. It's like, no, they had the principle. Like the whole pharmaceutical industry, right? It's really just based on herbs, man. Oh, they just synthesizing some stuff you could find in your backyard. In fact, I personally know some holistic doctors who could go. They can go on a highway or something, go through the woods and tell you everything they could use. They can go in your backyard and tell you everything you can use. Like I remember a house I had some mint growing naturally, like a whole bunch of it. We used to put that in some teas and stuff. But if you look at some indigenous cultures, what did the medicine men, the priest, the shaman, what they do? They take some of that natural stuff, they put it in some powder, have you drink it or something like that. Now they put it in a pill. So everything is based on what at one point would have been considered magic. So the modern magic is, that's part of it. There's a lot of other stuff, but advertising, and you could say it's even deeper. It goes into propaganda. So it's like if you want to see where the magicians are, yeah, don't go to that group who's practicing like an ancient spirituality or spiritual system going in a ritual. Go to that big office building that has a major advertising firm, and you'll probably see them walking out and stuff. Since people are more casual, they probably have on a t-shirt, some jeans, and a skateboard or something. And they probably voted Republican. But that's the advertising executive now. That's the magician, that's the shaman now. And I mean, you can even argue about that because I actually saw part of a documentary. I still gotta watch this documentary. It was about hoodoo in the United States, and they showed a clip. It had this DJ, and this DJ, I think it was a woman. She was saying, "Yeah, this is hoodoo too." I knew another guy. Well, read this other guy, and he said, his writing that was magic. So it's like, just focusing on the advertising, it's modern magic. Anyway, as always, y'all know how I do on this channel. I want y'all to think about stuff, all right? So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.